Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to the video. This is a video I really wasn't planning on making. I came out here this morning with a couple of buddies of mine to hit the trails, and I brought the bug out here, and if you can tell from that rear tire, she broke on me. And I think she broke on me because I revalved those rear shocks so tight. They were putting a lot more pressure on the tabs for the lower control arm. Let me take you down there and kind of show you what we're looking at. So I was out here on the trail beating around with my buddies, and I hit a pretty good bump a little ways back, and I heard something crack or whatnot, and then this is only 2 turns from where that happened. I came around this corner. This is where we usually kind of park and wait out, and when I put it in first gear to get up this hill, the weld for these tabs on here broke. And the control arm pulled away. As you can see, that's no good. So I'm stuck on the trail right now. And I'm pretty sure that happened because I revalved these shocks in my last video. They're much, much, much tighter. And I was actually hitting the bumps back there more aggressive than I could. And so because that shock is tighter, it puts, when it doesn't compress as well, it puts a lot of outward force on those tabs. I think that's why it let go. But that's not an excuse at all. These tabs were, if you look at the tab on this side, they were not completely welded. I never fully welded them because, you know, this chassis is still kind of in its build process. I had just gotten lazy, and I, came out here a bunch of times last year, and now came out this year. And you just get more and more aggressive, thinking that, you'll get to those later. Well, my later is right now because they finally broke. So I was riding with other people. I never come out here alone. So they're going to go back to the truck where they unloaded their dirt bikes, see possibly if the dude with the truck wants to come up here because he'll have a jack, and we're thinking we might be able to jack the chassis up and pull that in with ratchet straps. If that seems impossible, where I am actually here, I do actually have cell service, and I did call a towing outfit that's close to the entrance of this area, and they said they do come back here and tow, so they can get back here with a flatbed. So if we can't rig anything up, I'll just call the flatbed to come back here and drag it up on the deck and get it home that way. The good news is it's a beautiful day, and the area where I'm stuck is one of the prettiest places on the trail. So I cannot complain about that. And it's kind of remote out here, but 2 people have stopped by already, or one person drove by, one person rode by, and they both asked me if I was okay and if they could help, but there was nothing that they could do, so I just thanked them and sent them on their way, but we'll see what we can figure out. All right, people, so like I showed you down there, we've moved it up just from right there. That's where it actually broke down. We've just moved it up this far. We've got a plethora of straps going, obviously, as you can see. And what we've done is my buddy Keith came back with a jack, and we were able to jack it up, move things around. And we got these 2 straps there are kind of holding the control arm up, and then these straps here are holding it back, because what it wants to do is pull away this way as I accelerate. So what we're going to do at this point is just see if we can limp it out of here real slow, real easy. Keith's going to follow me on the dirt bike, and at this point, any distance we get is just going to help. It'd be nice if we could get it off the dirt to pavement, but if it goes okay from there, we might continue trying to limp it home. But for now, we'll just see how far we can get. But like I said, Keith's going to stay right behind me on his dirt bike and just kind of keep an eye on things. And if something does go a little south with the ratchet straps, we took this nylon rope and wrapped it around about 5,000 times just to kind of keep things together so that nothing comes flying apart. Hey guys, I'm back home now. I actually made it home. We limped this thing all the way home. I don't know how we did it. The sketch was at about 10 on a scale of 1 to 10, but we kept pulling over and checking it. We actually didn't have to cinch anything up after we initially set all this up on the trail. Unfortunately, on this trip, because I was going with some buddies of mine, I wasn't doing any filming. I wasn't planning on doing any filming on that trip. But once the rear control arm tabs broke, I was using my iPhone so that I could catch some of that footage, so that I could kind of show you some of that. Now I'm back home, I've got the GoPro. I want to show you a little bit more what we did. So like I showed you from the trail, this is what happened. The tabs here broke off of the chassis. I'm pretty sure this happened because of the shock absorbers are a lot tighter now, so it put a lot more force on these tabs. The fault is 100% mine because these were never even fully welded. If you watch some of my earlier videos, I have said I got to be easy on this chassis because not everything's solidly welded. And if you're thinking what kind of an idiot takes a not fully welded chassis out and plays with it, I guess the answer is me. I did that at first and everything was okay, so I think over time my confidence got higher and I stopped thinking about it so much. I never even thought that changing the valving on these shock absorbers would put so much more stress through there. Obviously it did, and it cost me a pretty serious failure. But I'm not going to dwell on that. Clearly I made a mistake. Hopefully you guys watch this video and can learn from it to be a little bit more careful. I'm going to try and learn from it as well. I do have the car show next week, so I need to get this at least drivable, but I'll do that this week. Right now the wife is irritated because I've been gone all day. This was supposed to be just a quick trip with a couple of buddies, but this ended up taking 3/4 of the day. It's a little bit after 2 o'clock now. But anyways, what we did is with that jack, we just jacked this arm up as high as we could, and then we had these two straps to kind of pull things back. As the vehicle would accelerate, it would try and pull the control arm this way, so we were using these straps to pull it back. We were using these straps to pull it up because the spring here pushes down on this control arm with a lot of force. So this is constantly being pushed down. So these straps hold it up. And then we had some nylon rope. We wrapped that around a whole bunch of times, just kind of as a fail-safe, so that if things let loose, it would at least hold it together. And surprisingly, it had a really bad toe-in, so this tire was scrubbing all the way home. It wasn't a problem on the dirt, but it was scrubbing a little bit on the asphalt. But I've only got 12 miles from the dirt to my house, so it wasn't too bad. And I wasn't going over. I threw on the hazards, and I was driving about 35 miles an hour. So that's it. That's the adventure this morning. I'm not particularly proud of the fact that I did not have those fully welded and they ended up breaking, but it is what it is at this point. I'm sharing it with you guys so that hopefully you can learn a little bit from it and it never happens to you. And hopefully in the next week or two, I'll tack these on, weld them up, and then add some cross bracing to tie that in a little bit stronger, because even though I'm going to be redoing this chassis or going to the new chassis, I still want to drive this a couple more times on the trail before I actually get to swapping everything to that chassis. So I am going to fix it up proper so that I can go back onto the trail and beat on these shocks or beat on the vehicle itself a little bit more. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you're taking something away from this. Hope it's helping you with your project, whatever that might be. And I hope to see you on the next video. Take care.